Most people believe that hope is what keeps a person alive. They believe that if you can just convince yourself things will get better, you can survive anything. But James Stockdale discovered something more disturbing. Sometimes the story you tell yourself to survive is the very story that destroys you. In 1965, Stockdale was a United States Navy pilot. He was disciplined, highly trained, and psychologically prepared for the dangers of war. He believed that if something went wrong, he would do what soldiers are trained to do: survive, escape, return home. But there was one thing he did not yet understand. Some battles do not end when the enemy captures your body. Sometimes that is when the real battle begins. On September 9, 1965, Stockdale's aircraft was shot down over North Vietnam. He ejected at low altitude. His body slammed into the ground. Before he could escape, he was captured by a crowd of villagers. Then he was taken to Hoa Lo prison, the place American prisoners would later call the Hanoi Hilton. Stockdale entered that prison as a senior American officer. The North Vietnamese understood exactly what that meant. If they could break him, they could use him. They wanted him to appear in propaganda videos. They wanted statements. They wanted cooperation. The prison was designed to destroy more than the body. It was designed to destroy identity. The prisoners were isolated. Every day, Stockdale watched men fight a battle inside their own minds. Many of them told themselves, "I will be home by Christmas." Then Christmas came, and they were still there. So they told themselves, "Then surely I will be home by spring." When that deadline passed too, something inside them began to collapse. Their hope had become a countdown. Stockdale understood something terrifying. There might be no quick rescue. The version of his life he had known was gone. He could not control the war. He could not control his captors. But there was one question still left to him. If they took everything else, could they also decide who he would become? Stockdale made a decision. He would not lie to himself. He would not give himself a comfortable deadline. He would assume the situation could last years. And then he made a second decision. No matter what happened to his body, he would not allow the prison to decide who he was. Then the torture began. His leg was damaged, his shoulder wrenched. He was placed in conditions designed to make him feel completely alone. Stockdale did not always feel strong. He was not made of stone. He knew fear. He knew despair. The difference was that he refused to confuse suffering with surrender. Pain could happen to him, but the meaning of that pain was his. So he began with something small: communication. The prisoners were separated, but Stockdale developed a system of tapping on the walls. A simple code, a knock, a pause, another knock. Slowly, prisoners began communicating. They could ask, "Are you there?" One sound from another human being could become proof that you still existed. Stockdale also helped establish rules. He helped create a code that gave men a boundary, a standard. He was building structure inside chaos. The captors offered temporary relief, food, an end to torture. All the prisoner had to do was cooperate. Say what they wanted him to say. Stockdale understood that men could break, but you remain strong by continuing to rebuild your identity after every attempt to destroy it. He could not control the prison, but he could influence the prisoners. He could help men prepare for the torture. Stockdale refused to create a deadline for his survival. He accepted the possibility that the suffering could continue for a very long time. This was not pessimism, it was preparation. He faced reality without illusion, but refused to surrender his belief that he would survive. Every day, Stockdale repeated the same invisible work. He endured, he communicated, he maintained structure. Most of his victories were invisible, a prisoner choosing not to surrender his identity, a prisoner answering a knock through the wall. Eventually the moment came. After years of imprisonment, the prisoners were released. Stockdale had spent nearly 8 years in captivity. 2,714 days. His body had been tortured. But now the doors opened, and Stockdale walked out. The real test was whether the prison had changed who he was. Some prisoners came home broken, some carried the prison with them. Stockdale had also suffered, but the prison had failed to completely rewrite his identity. He became a vice admiral, a philosopher. The reward was not that he had never suffered. The reward was that the prison failed to take the one thing he decided belonged to him: the authority to decide who he was. Human beings do not survive only through strength, they survive through meaning. If you can say, "This is terrible, but I still decide who I am today," then your identity has a foundation that circumstances cannot destroy. The darkness could control what he saw, the prison could control where he lived, but none of those things could decide what his suffering meant. You may not control how long the difficult situation lasts, but you can still decide what kind of person you will be while living through it. James Stockdale spent nearly 8 years in a prison designed to rewrite his identity. It failed because he refused to surrender the pen.